Hi, my name is CK, and this is the Populous platform created for conversations that encourage hope and inspire healing. A great man said, hope is in dreams, is in the imagination, is in the courage of those who dare to make dreams into reality. That is Jonas Salk. And that is Salk, not like a clothing item, a sock like talk with an S. I thought that name was really cute, and I just wanted to hear myself say that. Okay. And I just bit my tongue. Literally, just like my teeth, biggest teeth, cut into my tongue while chewing gum. And now may sound a little funny. My tongue is so sore, like I literally just bit my tongue. Crazy how that happens. And then I could wake up in the morning and it's all healed. Tongue is the most resilient thing, really, probably in this body of ours. On this set of the Populous, I want to talk about building confidence. I think confidence is a word we throw around a lot without really appreciating what it means. Sometimes we misplace it even. A lot of times we use it interchangeably with assertiveness, but the two are different. As a matter of fact, assertiveness is only a characteristic of confidence or being confident. People that are confident are always assertive, but assertive people aren't always confident. One time, I'm in a KFC in Melbourne. This is several years ago, and I think at the time, maybe KFC had just opened. So I'm on the queue behind this lady. She walks up, to the counter, orders her a streetwise stew. Now KFC has in Botswana, right, has the option of, for the streetwise stew, it has the option of bump or chips. Now the bump comes with morojo, which is spinach. And so the lady walks up to the counter and she orders for a streetwise stew with the option of pap and morojo. Now, I have no idea what the cashier heard or what happened, but when the order came, it was the option with the option of chips. So now I'm standing by, I'm right behind this lady, so I'm waiting for her to get her order so I can get mine, which is always dunked wings. Okay, well, it hasn't always been dunked wings. As soon as they did dunked wings, I didn't have any other reason to eat anything else. If I have to go to KFC, that's what I'm eating. That's what I like. Anyway, so I'm queuing behind this lady, and eventually her order comes, and it's the wrong order because it's not the option that she had asked for. Well, the cashier tells the lady that they don't have morojo and papa. And this lady says, but you didn't tell me that. I asked you for morojo and pap. And this lady says, well, I must have not heard you. I just assumed, we don't have, pap. So what I'm thinking happened really was that either way, I think that the cashier thought either way, it's a streetwise stew. It's either the pap or the chips. Now that there's no pap, you just get the chips, except she just didn't communicate that because that's an option that's listed on the menu. And she was wrong, right? But she was just not bashing. She was not apologetic. She was not remorseful or anything like that. Poor girl, the lady that was in front of me, I could see that she was hurt and she was disappointed and just maybe didn't have the courage to argue or just didn't want to argue. And so she collected that order. And I'm standing right there. I'm like, hold on a minute. I walk up to the counter and I say to that girl, you are not being fair. I was right here when this lady placed her order, and you gave her the wrong order. That's not what she ordered. And this lady says, well, but we don't have papa anymore. I'm like, that is your business, not her business. Choice to take the chips. Anyway, that kind of thing. And so we go back and forth, and I'm very firm, and I'm letting her know. As a matter of fact, I think you should just refund her money. This lady said, no, it's okay. I'm like, my friend, shut up. Make her to talk for you because you clearly are not doing a very good job. Shut up. And so the lady, the KFC lady says, well, I'm really sorry. I understand I should have said, I should have told you. Now she says, this lady, I should have told you. Just as soon as I mentioned to her, you probably should refund her because I know she's not going to be, happy. She's not happy clearly. She's not going to enjoy that meal, and it's not fair. And so she turns to her and she starts apologizing and saying to her that I'm really sorry. Yada 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 yada. She goes there, And eventually this lady, she's like, okay, well, it happens. It's okay. So she takes her order, she goes out. So I wait for mine. I collect mine eventually and I get out. I find her waiting outside and she calls me and she's like, oh my God, thank you so much for that. I was heartbroken. I felt so bad. And just the fact that I couldn't say exactly what I thought and what I felt. And you did that for me. So thank you. I am like, my lady, anytime. I personally just don't like unkind people. I don't like people that take advantage of other people. I don't like it when people use situations where they have power to manipulate other people and just like be nasty to other people. I don't like that whatsoever. And if I can help it, I'll do something about it. I'm of the opinion that we all need to be confident. We all need confidence in our lives. Now, confidence is a skill. Unlike assertiveness, it's not something that you were born with. It's not something that's natural. It's something that you actually acquire and you learn. Sometimes some people get so lucky as to just, train when they're very young to believe in themselves. By definition, that's what confidence is: believing in oneself, believing in one's abilities, in one's capacity, in one's worth. You have a strong sense of identity. You believe that person, that you identify with. Confidence is basically just having that clear understanding of oneself, accepting oneself, and trusting oneself. Confidence is, or perhaps the lack thereof, is what stands in the way of your success. It is what stands in the way of getting into meaningful relationships. It is what stands in the way of you pursuing your dreams. You reaching your full potential could be prohibited by just the lack of confidence. Confidence is all that we need to get ahead in this life. The moment you start believing what you have and trusting that what you have is enough to take you where you need to be, the moment you just do that, you become unstoppable. Mark Twain says there are two important dates in your life: the day you were born and the day you find out why. So now here's the thing. We're all created to be successful. We are all created to grow and flourish and become the very best that we can. Because we're all born with natural talents and gifts. And this talents and gifts are the little package we come into this world with to make it. Everybody's born with that. So the next time they ask you, what are you bringing to the table? You need to know that, because that's exactly what you should be putting on that table, as a matter of fact. The ability to multiply our gifts and use our talents effectively equals our success. You would say that, Mama, I made it. You write the letter home and tell them, I made it. When you have been successful in multiplying your gifts and using your talents effectively. Some people are lucky to be born and into families or just like environments where they learn from a very young age to believe in themselves, to have confidence. Their confidence is built from just when they are born. They're brought into a world of structure and direction. And so they learn from then that to be self-reliant. Because really the only person that is going to make you successful is you. The only person that is going to make you genuinely and truly happy is you. And that takes you believing and trusting in yourself, which equates to confidence. That's why we all need to be confident. One thing that I know about myself quite nicely, I was born a very assertive person, and I'm brave. Like I'm just like a little fearless person, like that. And so the courage to try things out has never been a problem with me, which is probably why also I would train myself to believe in myself a whole lot more. But I have struggled, and I think that I speak for a lot of people. I struggled with confidence, and I still do. It's something that I have to constantly brush. One time, my mom bought me peep toes. I got home after school. I was in primary school. I got home after school and I found she had bought me those peep toe wedges. I was so excited that I wore the shoes. Immediately went back to school for the afternoon prep in those shoes. I realized that I still do that. I buy a new item, I'm wearing it. My friend makes fun of the whole situation. She's just like, imagine if you died after buying your new thing and people are going to take that and wear it and you've never worn it. You wear your item after you buy it. Okay. And I do that. I think that people that have so much money that they buy a whole lot of stuff at the same time, yeah, maybe they can't relate to that. But for me, I'm wearing it. And so you see now I've been doing it since I was a child. So I put on my shoes and went to school. And my teacher, he wasn't even my class teacher, he was an assistant teacher. I was on service, on public service, what do you call it? Youth service, that's what he was doing. And so that assistant teacher notices that I'm wearing my new shoes. Probably the walk had changed or, something. The attitude changes a little bit, right? you just, there's just something about you. Well, I don't know. Let me speak for myself. I don't know for other people, but I feel good. When I look good, I feel good. And you'd notice in the way that I walk. I'll probably change my accent a little bit. That type of thing. So well, apart from just the shoes themselves being new, which he could easily tell. So he notices that I'm wearing new shoes. So he says to me, and outline so that everybody else, hears him. So he says, you're wearing Translation: you're wearing new shoes. It's just peep toes, right? So my toes are out. I forgot the name. I learned the name of the big toe on TikTok the other day. I forgot. And he says, you are wearing your shoes. You took out the peep toe. That's your peep toe that looks like a tortoise head. He said that. Well, I should write this down because I don't even know what I said, but he said something like that. And I can't remember exactly how I reacted to that. I don't know what I said. I don't know. I don't remember if it made me feel sad or anything. I cannot really remember, but I remember that he said that to me. And I was only 12 at the time when he said that. But I remember it to this day. And I remember that I have always just been so insecure with my feet. He wasn't lying though. My big toe is crazy. Okay. I have the biggest toe probably. You know, my feet are just okay. I don't have big feet. One lady I work with once called my feet men feet. And she is like 5'2". And I'm like, and she probably wears size 2 of shoes or size 3, I don't know. And she's like, I have men feet. And I am like, girl, you're a dwarf. I said that in my heart, I didn't say it out loud. But really, you cannot compare you to mine. Those are not human feet. It's like baby feet. You know what I'm saying? So so I have always just been so insecure with my feet, and particularly my big toe because of that, man. I went so hard to overcome that. Just the other day, I came across a clip on TikTok, and this person was talking about how dark-skinned women have the tendency of just picking the weirdest of nail polish for the feet. There was an era where the white polish was trending. Everybody was wearing their toes white. I have done my toes white, and I liked it, and I have super dark skin. And I did, and I was just, totally okay with it. Luckily for me, I do all that stuff by myself, and so 100% I chose that, and I'm totally okay with it. The absence of confidence is insecurity. When you look within, you realize that, okay, I'm not able to trust myself. I don't believe that I can do that. You can't do anything. You don't go anywhere. There are people that can't simply knock on a door. There are people like that. There are people that can't speak to anybody. There are people that cannot answer back. There are people that just simply don't go anywhere. They don't go anywhere. And the reason for that is not because they don't want to, but really just because, oh my God, where would I start? If I knock on that door, somebody's going to respond to it, and then they're going to come out. What am I going to say to them? It's that there are people in relationships they loathe, but just can't get out. There are people that cannot get into relationships because what would I even say? What would I even begin? What would I even do? Sort of thing. And the whole reason these things are happening, or perhaps why there are those people, just really insecurities. It's basically people that struggle believing in themselves. Confidence serves you. Confidence gives you. Confidence makes you feel, or perhaps it's like kind of levels you up. Confidence gives you the platform to be real. It gives you the courage to be you. By design, human beings are created to innately form interpersonal relations. And then we are socialized to depend on each other, to support each other, to be good to each other, to be kind and great. You are ordered by social protocol to be kind, to be a kind, respectful, nice human being. That also creates a platform for some people to be a little selfish, and then, have such people take advantage of other people. Some people can ride on that social convention and use others to their benefit, take others for rides. And I don't like that. I honestly just hate when people take advantage of other people. But so now, confidence, serves you in the sense that when you're confident, it makes it hard for people to take advantage of you. Confident people trust themselves, they accept themselves, and they love themselves. Confident people know their strengths, and they accept also their limitations. They appreciate their weaknesses, and also the fact that just because someone has weaknesses, don't cancel out. That doesn't cancel out, their worth. Their worth is not determined by other people's opinions. And for as long as that is, it's really difficult to then kind of manipulate them, because the way that you are able to get away with taking advantage of other people is that you would lie and you would manipulate your way, out. They're also confident people assert themselves very well. And, well, basically meaning they speak their mind and they can express themselves very well. If you wanted to win over any person, you would identify what their insecurities are and write on that. See how successful you get. Confident people generally are very genuine and authentic. So, you know how the universe works? You attract what you are, they say. So genuine. Confidence also serves you in this way, that because you understand your strengths, you understand your weaknesses and appreciate them, and then also you understand your limitations, you understand how far you can go. Confident people tend to not mow their life away because of challenges. Confidence gives you a strong internal assurance so that you are able to face challenges and just get past them. The life that we live dictates there will always be challenges. The difference between people is that other people would stay under the challenges and other people rise above them. And it takes confidence to rise above challenges. If challenges are going to be there, you need to understand that challenges are going to be there. So you kind of just you learn how to, overcome challenges. So just get on top of them. A confident person could lose everything, but still get up in the morning and walk around with a smile, with their head held high and their chest out, because confident people understand that it is not how many times you get knocked down that counts, but how many times you get up. And that's just what confidence gives you. Confidence gives you hope. Confidence gives you authority over the decisions that you make. And by that I mean, when you make decisions, it's really from a clear mind, clear conscience, and you make decisions fully aware of yourself and what it is that you are doing. And so often confident people tend to make logical decisions, sound decisions. And so there are no regrets when you live life with confidence, when you're confident, when you're living your life fully trusting yourself, fully believing in yourself, fully believing, what your life is all about. Confident people have a growth mindset. They are always just looking for ways of multiplication, of making this situation better, of improving. Confident people are always working on themselves to get better, to do better, and and stuff. So you learn to just make good decisions. That's what confidence gives you. It is not easy building confidence. It's not easy being confident. A confident person lives a very orderly life, very organized life. They're like that. And that is not easy. It's very hard because we are made with so many parts, and our parts are built by our life experiences. And some of the experiences that we get are so terrible that they end up killing those parts, and to revive those parts so that you are able to live your life fully and reach your very full potential. It becomes just the hardest thing. But we have life, so we can try. For as long as we are breathing, It is never too late to mend, they say. It's never too late to start either. So there are a few things that I think can be done to literally just learn that skill or gain that skill of confidence. You know that thing where like play with a little baby in her river, that's what we say, you know, that we have that, we do that. I do that to myself. I look in the mirror and I'm saying nice little affirmative things, right, like that. And it's just only one of the things that I do to keep at my skill, keep believing in myself, keep trusting myself, keep, just like loving myself in that manner. There are 3 basic things that are just the starting point where it all starts. Number 1 of those things is knowing yourself. You need to know yourself. You remember in junior school, not primary school, in junior school where they made us write that who I am, or is it who am I? Who I am, who am I? No, it's actually a question, statement. Who am I? Composition. And you're there writing, my name is Karaga, you're giving age, you're giving, I gave my skin complexion and my composition. And I know this because I kept that composition because also I aced it. And I was really excited about it being in junior school probably. And so I kept it and I had it for a very long time. And I remember that I included my skin complexion in my composition. That was never heard of because we're all brown and, like some people are very light skinned, but we're all brown. But I was dark skinned and I was, most of the time, the darkest kid with the kids that I grew up with and, stuff. And I had kids pointing that out all the time, right? I have had kids replace the name of the cream relaxer Black Like Me with my name with the me. They would replace it with my name there. Black Like Me, meaning me. And sometimes they'll just be singing Black Like. That's why, like that. Black like her, skinny like her, like that kind of thing. But in vernac, not in English. In English, it sounds even nice. I'll take it. But so I had kids, point out that I was dark skinned and that I was skinny all the freaking time, so that I embraced it. I included it in my composition. I remember playing school with this girl. I think her name was Maiwa or something like that, but she was a little bit older. And so she's sitting there and she's the teacher. We're playing school. We're playing teacher and kids. She's asking questions and what is your skin complexion? And and English was hard even at that time. We were just only babies. I would not be able to answer that. And she's like, you say that I am black. She said to me to say that I am black. And that was not even right. It wasn't correct. I am dark skinned. I am black by race, but I am dark skinned. That's what I was supposed to say. And this dummy, she said that I should say I am black. I included my skin complexion in that. But basically, the point that I'm trying to make is that there are those physical features that make us. Pretty obvious. And those we don't have control over. I cannot control the fact that I'm dark skinned. There's nothing I can do. Well, I can bleach my skin. I just don't want to. I don't wish that. But there is that. And you can't do anything about those things. The emotions that we attach to our exterior are what affects our self-image. We literally feel the way that we feel about ourselves because of how we see ourselves. And that is man-made, that's socially made. I'm a Christian. I love God. And I don't know anything else. I don't trust anything else. And anybody that knows me really very well would tell you I will not listen to anything else outside of God. But I don't like stupid religious practices. I'll tell you that. I don't like those. The church that I go to happen to be a very traditional, they call them traditional mainline churches, right? And I'm not going to mention the name of that church. You figure it out. It's just so happened that one time I went to that church, to my church, wearing pants. The reason I wear pants is because when I was growing up, my mother refused for us, my sister and I, to wear pants. In my culture, traditionally, a woman was not supposed to wear pants. I grew up like that. And now I'm super skinny, right? And I have kiss knees. That's what you call them, right? I have that. And so I would have my mother dress me in a dress that would be sometimes big or whatever, sometimes in a very weird. I have this yellow dress that my mother made me wear. She literally went to the store, bought fabric, a bright yellow fabric of polyester material, trimmed that dress with white lace and a red ribbon, and she made me wear that dress. Same person. Then they were laughing at me with her sisters, because of the knees and that I looked like a log of wood in that dress. And in my heart of hearts, my heart really broke, and I thought to myself that let's see me wear dress again. So my wearing of pants, even to church, was not about me disrespecting the culture of the church. Was not about anything like that at all. It was just about me and how I feel about my dress and what I look and whatnot. Unfortunately, how we look like affects how we feel. It shouldn't, but it does. And so it was purely that. I had a council of women from my church call me and sit me down and tell me that wearing pants to church doesn't look good and that I should not do that, particularly if I'm going to be going upstage and singing. And I am sitting there and I'm thinking, that is what you're worried about? It doesn't look good? That's your worry? I know people in this very church that are sleeping with people that are not married, that they're not married to. And your worry is that I'm wearing pants and it doesn't look good. And as God would have it, a few months, maybe a year or so later, our pastor, my beloved pastor, a great man of God, he stood at that podium and he told the church, wear pants. Women, if you want to wear pants, wear pants. Surround yourself with positive influence. Obviously, positive in the sense that it supports who you are as a person and what you stand for, your purpose in this life. It impacts you in that manner. It adds value to you. That is a positive. So it starts all in the mind. The Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he. It starts there. It starts with tiny little bit of things, including people that you keep company of. You cannot be around people whose values and principles do not support what you stand for in life. You cannot be around prostitutes unless if you want one. I used to be friends with this one lady, and people had a description of her, some type of description of her, right? And I would always be defending myself. I'll be like, oh no, I just, I don't even like going to those places. I don't like going to the club. I don't like going out like that. I don't like parties, but I kept going because my friend and I would be going. She's like, oh, we're going to bed and we are going. And I'll come back and I'll be telling people, I don't even like going to that club. I don't know why I went. I don't even like going this and that. I'll be saying that. Bruh. Busy painting poor child, somebody's child's name bad, making her look bad, when I was exactly that, me wanting to go there. Because it's really this simple. If you don't, then why are you doing it? If you don't like it, then why are you doing it? You can't water a tree whose fruit you don't want. You cut off that tree because the fruit is bad and it's going to poison your life. You don't want the fruit, do not plant the tree altogether. Or if the tree is already there, you cut it off. It's that simple. You can't be in the company of people whose principles or values don't add value to your own life. You can't be in the company of people who you don't agree with. Two cannot walk together unless they agree. Share. Just share. Share a little bit of yourself. The Bible says in Hebrews 13 verse 6, and do not forget to do good and share with others. For with such sacrifice, you please God. It is very important to remember that we are created to be successful. God intended for every one of us to come into this world and make it out, having lived the very best life we can. We are mandated to flourish. It is very, very important that we live meaningful and purposeful lives while we are here. And that takes believing in oneself or being confident. You're going to have to figure out how to be the person that you were meant to do in this life. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's very hard, but it's worth it. And so go on and do it. And on that note, this is the Populous. My name is CK, and I hope to see you again.